Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Russian forces have launched another missile strike on the Ukrainian port city of Odessa, this time targeting a postal depot and a third attack against the city in just as many days. The regional governor has said that 14 people were injured in the latest attack, and Russian attacks also targeted Kharkiv and the surrounding areas. Ukrainian drones had attacked several Russian regions last night. According to a Russian military statement, the Ukrainian drones were destroyed over Bryansk, Krasnodar, Rostov, Kursk, and Belgorod regions. The attacks have reportedly caused power cuts in settlements in the central Oryol and southern Kursk regions. A Ukrainian drone also hit a Russian oil refinery in Razan, about 190 kilometers southwest of Moscow. Russian forces are making a slow advance towards Chasiv Yar, a strategic town near Bakhmut. The Institute for the Study of War says that Russian troops are moving through forests east of the Chasiv Yar, which is protected by a wide canal with limited crossing points. The Ukrainian 26th Artillery Brigade has reported that the town is being heavily bombarded by the Russian Air Force with glide bombs. The capture of Chasiv Yar would provide the Russian army with tactical advantage, allowing them to control the high ground and disrupt Ukrainian supply lines essential to the defense of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. All right, folks, let's talk about hot topic making the waves right now: a Russian tech graveyard somewhere in Donetsk. Now, it's like a junkyard for busted and blown up gear. Think of it as a place where Russian military hardware goes to retire in pieces. Now, the big question is, how did it end up there? Was it Ukrainian counterattack, or did Mother Nature decide that she'd had enough of their antics? Whatever the case may be, it's a stark reminder of the toll of war and the wreckage left behind. One of the Bradleys, an armored warrior in the Ukrainian arsenal, isn't taking any prisoners when it comes to those Russian NTLBs. It's like David versus Goliath, but with a lot more firepower. Here we see a showdown where Bradley rolls in and wipes the floor with Russian military vehicles with precision and power. The Bradleys are again showcasing its dominance on the battlefield, so if you ever doubt the strength of this military tech, think again. Now let's talk about the BMD, a real quality specimen when it comes to combat vehicles. Now this is no ordinary armored vehicle, it's a beast on tracks ready for action. Designed with airborne operations in mind, it can parachute in or out of the air. But even the most powerful machines sometimes run into their enemies. This particular BMD, well, it met its match in a Ukrainian drone. Despite all this firepower, this BMD will not be helping Russian paratroopers again. Now let's take a look at a footage from an FPV drone operator of the 25th Separate Assault Battalion of the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade. Air reconnaissance spotted two Russians strolling towards their hideout. The precision with which they directed the strike drone that ended up wiping out the enemy deserves respect. And there's more footage coming out from the front. Now, in just 18 hours, over 500 applications came in to join the 414th Separate Battalion of the Ukrainian Marines, known as the Magyar's Birds Battalion. As the legendary Magyar once said, "We'll all leave this world someday, some with guns in hand, others on their knees." It's a reminder of the bravery and commitment these soldiers bring to the table. Stay tuned for more updates on this remarkable unit.
Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть. З чого це ви подумали, що добрий план? Війну перечекати дуючи кальян. Це поведінка страуса, що у біді ховає писок у пісок, а дупу ні. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть. Забили на сестер, забили на братів. Вважаєте, що служать тільки ті, хто захотів. Але працює карма і по совісті веде. Як ти не йдеш до ТЦК, то він прийде. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть. Ви уявіть майбутнє без війни, де в мирі доньки і сини соромляться дивитись в очі вам, бо знають батя ухилян, який засяв. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть. Тримайте економічний фронт, та пам'ятайте, можете отримать булю в рот. Ми всі колись підемо з цього світу неодмінно. Одні зі зброєю в руках, а інші на колінах. Настане час, ніяк без вас. Ей, 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 настав той час, ніяк без вас. Братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли вони прийдуть. Братва, братва, що будемо дуть, що будемо дуть, коли за вами прийдуть.
Now you can feel the excitement buzz in the air as Ukrainian pilot Moonfish boasts about the opportunity he had to fly F-16s. Despite the shifting timelines for the arrival of this aircraft, the anticipation is palpable. As the Ukrainian Air Force puts it, they're ready to roll with the punches and make the most out of whatever comes their way. When these F-16s touch down in Ukraine, you can be sure that there'll be plenty to talk about.
It is really a super fun jet to fly. I'm not saying that MiG that I flew before is super boring, but the F-16 is definitely more agile. It easily moves. The moment you think of something, it turns. I felt proud, not only for myself, but only for the rest of the guys, and that we're doing it now. I know how much work has been done to have this opportunity.
Been updated several times, and as it is right here, it's a very, very modern aircraft. It's competitive with the best Western fighters, and I'm sure that the Ukrainian Air Force will benefit from that.
The biggest boost here is the motivation to go back and keep fighting with new jets.
We are in this together, and we have a lot of sympathy with the Ukrainian people, and we want to do whatever we can to help.
And with that, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.